Please turn to Yidin Nefesh, which can be found on page 324, I think. Yidin Nefesh, Akarachama, Tishochakecha, El Ritzonecha, Yarut Adecha, Kemo Ayah, Yishachaveh, Elul Hadorecha, Yeramo, Yedunatecha, Eno Betzu, Bevotam, Adonai, Vihalam, Nahashicholat, Ahumatecha, Anaela, Refanala, Deharota, Noam Zipa, Astitaveh, Betitrapeh, Behaitalah, Simchat Olam. Yadadai-dai-dai-dai, yadadai-dai-dai-dai, yadadai-dai-dai, yadadai-dai, yadadai-dai-dai, yadadai-dai-dai-dai, yadadai-dai-dai-dai, yadadai-dai-dai-dai-dai, yadadai-dai-dai-dai, 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 yadadai-dai-dai, Vatityehu Narahamecha Behusana Avenahuvecha Tivetkama Mitzvot Mitzvati Lirot Tiferet Uvecha Anaheli and Nadiri Usana Ve'anatitalam Igalena Utros Karim Alai Etzukat Shalom Lecha Kairet Nifudecha Nahagila Benisrahava Haterahu Divamoe Bechodenu Kimeolam Yadadai-dai-dai-dai, 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 yadadai-dai-dai-dai,
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
I'm Rabbi Benjamin Zober.
And I'm Rabbi Sarah Zober.
And we are so glad to welcome you into our home as we all welcome in Shabbat. We will get right to it. But before we do, if you have not already downloaded our virtual Siddur, please do so, as it is the easiest and fanciest way to keep up. If you do have a hard copy of the Siddur, you are also going to be able to follow along. We will try to shout out the page numbers because we will jump around a little bit. So without further ado, we will go to the very next page in your virtual Siddur, or page 2 in the book, as we light our Shabbat candles, and perhaps one of the Shabbat angels will come out to help me light the candles.
Also known as Ramona. Oh, you want in on this? Go.
Hi. Ready? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'hadlik ner shel Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom.
It is a blustery and cold evening here in Reno, but it is nice and warm here, and we hope it's warm where you are as well. Our next song can be found on page 12, L'chu Neranena. We have been working on a new yet old melody for L'chu Neranena, so please join us.
Is that an old new melody or new old melody?
I think it's an old new melody, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It's new for us. It's an old melody. L'chu Neranena, L'chu Neranena, L'chu Neranena l'Adonai. L'chu Neranena, L'chu Neranena, L'chu Neranena l'Adonai. Naria, Naria, Letzor Yeshenu Nekadma Panav V'Todam. Naria, Naria, Letzor Yeshenu B'Zmirot Naria Lo. L'chu Neranena, L'chu Neranena, L'chu Neranena l'Adonai. 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 Naria, Naria, Letzor Yeshenu Nekadma Panav V'Todam. Naria, Naria, Letzor Yeshenu B'Zmirot Naria Lo. L'chu Neranena, L'chu Neranena, L'chu Neranena l'Adonai. L'chu Neranena, L'chu Neranena, L'chu Neranena l'Adonai.
And and continue on to page 20, where we will be singing Lecha Dodi as we welcome the Sabbath bride into our midst out of the bluster and the cold and the rain. So be sure to turn to the entrance of wherever you are when we reach the final verse and welcome her in, and we bow and say, Boi Kara, Boi Kara. We will be doing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9.
And on the ninth and final verse, if you would like, you may bow. Yairanaita lacha lacha dodi, likrat likrat kala, panei panei Shabbat v'Kabbalah. Lacha lacha dodi, likrat likrat kala, panei panei Shabbat v'Kabbalah. La 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 lacha dodi, likrat likrat kala, panei panei Shabbat v'Kabbalah. Lacha lacha dodi, likrat likrat kala, panei panei Shabbat v'Kabbalah. Shamor v'zachor v'dibur echad, Ishmi'anu echad mi'yuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, v'shemo tiferet v'litzei la 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 lacha dodi, likrat likrat kala, panei panei Shabbat v'Kabbalah. Lacha lacha dodi, likrat likrat kala, panei panei Shabbat v'Kabbalah. Likrat Shabbat v'chu v'necha, ihi v'kol ha'varava, v'rosh v'kadam v'sucha, so ma'aseh v'machshava tefila la 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 lacha dodi, likrat likrat kala, panei panei Shabbat v'Kabbalah. Lacha lacha dodi, likrat likrat kala, panei panei Shabbat v'Kabbalah. Ki torari, ki ba'orech, ori, shina veri, kevod Adonai Elohim, la 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 lacha dodi, likrat likrat kala, panei panei Shabbat v'Kabbalah. Lacha lacha dodi, likrat likrat kala, panei panei Shabbat v'Kabbalah. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam b'simcha u'b'tzola, toch emunei al segula. Boi chala, boi chala, likrat likrat kala, panei panei Shabbat v'Kabbalah. Lacha lacha dodi, likrat likrat kala, panei panei Shabbat v'Kabbalah. La 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 lacha dodi, likrat likrat kala, panei panei Shabbat v'Kabbalah. Likrat likrat kala, panei panei Shabbat v'Kabbalah.
You may be seated. We continue on together with Chatzi Kaddish, which can be found on page 26. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah,
Amen.
v'yalma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei,
B'chayechon v'yomechon, u'chayedecho Beit Yisrael, b'gala, u'bizman kariv,
v'yimaru.
Amen.
Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach,
Le'olam u'lo me'almaya, yitbarach.
Yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitaleh, v'yithalal, shmei d'kudesha b'richu, leila min kol birchata v'ashirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, tahamihiram be'alma, v'yimaru. Amen. We rise for the Baruch Hu, page 28. We continue together, the top of page 31. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Hamariv Aravim. Ahavat Olam can be found on the next page.
Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Ahamcha ahavta, Amcha ahavta. Torah u'mitzvot, chokim u'mishpatim, otanu limadata, otanu limadata. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu b'shofteinu, u'kavenu nasiach b'chukacha, v'nismach b'divrei Toratacha, u'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed, kihem chayenu, ve'orach yameinu, u'lahem negeh yomam v'layla, negeh yomam v'layla. Mi'ahavatcha al tasir, mimenu le'oravim, Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael, ohev amo Yisrael. The Shema can be found on the next page. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Aruch Hashem, kevod malchuto, leolam va'ed.
May be seated. We continue together with the V'ahavta, page 36. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, b'chol levacha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha. Dehayu hadvarim ha'ele asher Elohim mitzavecha hayom alevavecha. V'shinantam levanecha, v'dibartam bam, v'shivtecha b'beitecha, u'v'lechtecha b'derech, u'v'sholchecha u'v'kumecha, u'kshartam leot al yadecha, v'hayu letotachot b'neinecha, u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha, U'v'hisharecha, l'man tizkaru, v'asitem et kol mitzvotai, v'hitem kedoshim le'Elohechem. Ahani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim,
להיות לכם לאלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Adonai Elohechem Emet. We turn and read together on page 41. Sing the song of men and women joined in understanding and respect. The song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come. The song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home, to leave no more. The song of a world redeemed, the song of peace. Michamocha is on page 40.
וגלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, קהל ישראל.
We continue together at the top of page 43. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. Yismachu can be found on the very next page.
שומרי שבת, יסתלמו במלכותך, שומרי שבת, ציפורי עונג ציפורי עונג, יסתלמו במלכותך, שומרי שבת, יסתלמו במלכותך, שומרי שבת. וקדשי שבי, כולם יסתרו ויצמחו בטובך, ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי שבת, ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי שבת. ציפורי עונג, ציפורי עונג, ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי שבת. והשביעי רצית בו, רצית בו וקידשתו, חמרת ימים אותו קראת, זמר למעשה בראשית, Vikoreonek, Vikorahoreonek, Yisrael v'Malchuta, Shomerei Shabbat. Yisrael v'Malchuta, Shomerei Shabbat. Yisrael v'Malchuta, Shomerei Shabbat.
We all rise for the Amidah, page 46. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi agita hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekoneh HaKol, Vezocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei Bnei Ham, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magin, Baruch atah Adonai, Magin Abraham, Bezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechaye HaKol atah Rab leHoshia, Mashiv HaRuach, U'Morid HaGashem, Mechakel Chaim B'Chesed, Mechaye HaKol B'Rachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim V'Rofech Oholim, U'Matir Asurim, U'Mekayem Emunato B'Shenei Afar, B'Chamocha B'Gevurot, U'Mido Melech, Melech Mimit U'Mechaye, U'Matzmiach Yeshua, V'Ne'eman atah l'Hachayot HaKol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechaye HaKol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yehalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. We take a moment for silent prayer. Please be seated when you feel ready. Osei Shalom can be found on page 62. May the one who makes peace bring peace down,
one who makes peace, bring peace down, bring peace down. Oh, say shalom, peace from love. Oh, say shalom, peace from love. We are sent shalom. We are sent shalom. We are sent shalom. Alleluia. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one bring peace down. May the one bring peace down. May the one bring peace down to us. Now, where normally we would head right into our Torah service, this week we have something different. This week we will be celebrating Russell Slamowitz becoming a bar mitzvah tomorrow morning. So we are going to allow him to be our Torah chanter since he will be leading a morning service. So please join us back here at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning for the reading of the Torah. He's doing 7 aliyot, so he will, and Haftarah. So for those of you who are Haftarah buffs, this will be a special occasion. So we are going to move along to the Misha Berach at this time, and then Rabbi Benjamin will have a few words of Torah for you.
At this time, our community is thinking of Adina bat Moshe Miriam, Harav Aharon ben Tova, Wendy Alderman, Ilka Ashenoff, Ramon Chavez, Les Cohen, Megan Carney Cranmer, Sarah Goguen, Marlene Harris, Diana Johns, Dave Levine, Elaine Lynn, Meir ben Rachel Fagel, Baharav Abraham, Steve Meyerson, Pesach ben Akiva, Charlotte Rutkovitz, Shirley Rutkovitz, Sarah bat Chava, Marianne Schenker, the Ryan Seiler family, Steve Strauss, Jessica Wadatz, Yisraela Devira bat Abraham Vasara, Usher Zaleth, Ahmad Zarur, Hamida Derry, Linda Dufier, Amma Lovelace, everyone affected by the coronavirus. For them, we offer our song of healing, Misha Berach, can be found on page 253.
Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor Abracha Leimotenu May the source of strength bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage
Let us now praise famous and trailblazing women and our mothers who begat us. Rebecca, Rivka, as she was known to family, was the child of destiny, an agent of promise. While so many women in the Torah are faceless and nameless, we have a record of Rebecca's birth and lineage, born to Bethuel, son of Milcah, the wife of Abraham's brother Nahor. When Abraham's servant Eliezer spots her at the well, she draws water for him and for all of his camels, which is no easy feat. Perhaps Eliezer recalls how gracious a host his own masters were when the messengers came to announce Sarah's pregnancy. Certainly, he sees something special, and indeed she was, the mother of nations, agent of change, a trailblazer. As Abraham's servant and Rebekah's brother and mother haggle over her betrothal, Rebekah decides for herself to go and marry Isaac. Her departure from her family, from her home, from the land of her birth to the unknown reminds us of Abraham, who began his journey at God's command, Lech Lecha, go forth. Rebekah, though, needs no divine order. It is all her. Where Abraham was commanded, Rebekah chose. I will go, she says, Elech. But, like Abraham, in doing so, she furthers the promise that God made to Abraham of a great nation. Rebekah will not only guide and foster that promise, but literally deliver on it. Dr. Yaira Amit cautions us to understand just how significant this woman's role is in the Torah. She says women's contribution to the fulfillment of national destiny finds its expression not only in their role as childbearers, but also in their ability to take bold and vital actions at critical moments. Rebekah's life is full of bold and vital actions. She takes charge of her betrothal and how she decides to leave home and make a new family. Generations later, Ruth will choose to accompany her mother-in-law, Naomi, later marrying into the family and beginning a line that will eventually come to include King David. Rebekah, bold, pioneering, independent, and strong, is a trailblazer. Rebekah, it seems, comes from a long line of bold, trailblazing women. Her mother is not named in the text, but leaves her mark on the Torah. Before Rebekah leaves, her mother gives her two blessings. The first is not a blessing of words. She gives her the blessing of a voice. She gives Rebekah the freedom to choose for herself whether she will go and marry Isaac. And when Rebekah chooses to leave, her mother offers a more traditional blessing. Only a few women in the Torah are ever given blessings. Only one comes from her mother. In the ancient Near East, mothers would have taught their daughters not only the trades and the skills that they needed at home, but values and strength. Rebekah's mother's blessing, sister, may you become thousands of myriads. May your descendants take possession of the gates of their foes. Like the promise to Abraham, she is to be a great nation, wealthy and prosperous. Having raised her, taught her, and guided her, Rebekah's mother gives her the freedom of choice and then blesses her going. Where Sarah could muster no compassion for Hagar and cast out her supposed rival, and Leah and Rachel will vie for Rachel's favor and attention, there is no such conflict between the women here. Rebekah's mother even calls her sister. This is the model of cooperation the Torah favors. Former Secretary of State Madeleine Albright often remarks, there is a special place in hell for women who don't help other women. Rebekah and her mother represent quite the opposite. Rebekah's mother gives her the gift of choice. and then blesses it. And Rebekah takes full advantage. Their examples teach all of us. Rebekah also helps to heal a nation. When she meets Isaac, he is mourning his mother and still smarting from his father's attempt to sacrifice him. Pained by these traumatic ordeals, betrayal by those who were entrusted with his care, we can scarcely imagine that Abraham did not promise Sarah that he would look after Isaac on their journey. Isaac is in deep grief. Together, Rebekah and Isaac will go on to have one of the great loves of Torah. And Rebekah will come to birth Esau and Jacob, each of whom will grow to lead a nation. For good, for bad, her cunning and guile are instrumental in securing the blessings of wealth for Jacob and ultimately the people Israel. But she enters the story when Isaac, the man who is supposed to continue Abraham's legacy and God's promise, is hurting. Rebekah helps him to move on. Some women heal. Some women lead, some teach, some heal, some do all three. Rachel was the first, but not the last, and her example gives us hope that there are many more to come. Shabbat Shalom. We continue with Aleinu, which can be found at the bottom of page 282. Aleinu לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. Page 285. Let the time not be distant, O God, when all shall turn to you in love, when corruption and evil shall give way to integrity and goodness, when superstition shall no longer enslave the mind, nor idolatry blind the eye. O may all created in your image become one in spirit and one in friendship, forever united in your service. Then shall your realm be established on earth, and the word of your prophet fulfilled. Adonai will reign forever and ever. Page 287. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. You may be seated. We think now of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. At this time, we remember Barb McBrady, Nancy Livingston, Ralph Wolfstein, Richard Heller, Noel Frankel, Michael Louis Goldstein, Michael James Lordier, Norma Morhar, Moshe Avnir, Millard Petersky, Ivan Appleruth, Miguel Wicki, Amitza Bat Avraham Vesara, Aaron Ben Beryl Vesara, Enrique Monteverde Nimbriotis, Alan R. Priddy, Al Feldman, Rabbi Sigma Faye Haran, Lori Frankel, William Friedlander, Florence Conti, Sanford Arnold Eisenstadt, Joe Johns, Sherwin Sider, Arthur Ashkin, Jack Robinson. In this Shabbat, we commemorate the Yartzites. Francis R. Altman, Ida Finkelstein, Ida Friedman, Melvin Quassman, Tom Fetkether, Sylvia Langer, Robert Potawills, Irv Jim Dworkin, Great Baba Goodman, Meyer Rosenthal, A. Raymond Apt, Andre Beals, Frank Gray, Francis Quassman, Dorothy Beckman, Diane Goodman, and Adeline Rubin. To those names and the other names that you have added in your hearts or in the comments, Kadisha Tome can be found on page 294. If it is your custom, please stand. Yitgadal v'yitgadash Shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Ve'alma divra chirutei v'yamrich malchutei v'chayachon v'yomechon uv'chayei dachol Beit Yisrael ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen.
Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam ulamei almaya.
Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yithaleh v'yithalal Shemei dekudesha barichu leila min kol birchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechemata ta'miran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all who mourn, to which we say, Amen. You may be seated. All right, we have a few announcements for you this evening. Once again, tomorrow morning, we have the bar mitzvah of Russell Slamowitz, so we will not be having Torah study, but he has plenty of wonderful things to say about the Torah portion and some beautiful chanting and singing and all sorts of good things. So we hope that you will come and join that and help cheer him on and offer kol hakavod when he does a marvelous job. You can find that same place you find this, sinaireno.org/live. That is 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. Let's see, we have...
and because of that, we're not having Torah study. Just so don't get on that Zoom room. There won't be anybody there.
Sinai School on Sunday morning and Hebrew High this week as well. What else do we have going on? A little ways down the road, there is going to be...
Not too far. That's next Sunday.
Yeah, next Sunday at 6 p.m. The Nevada Interfaith Association is having, I think it's 35 or 36th annual Interfaith Thanksgiving service. It will be via Zoom. We will be sending out information when we have all the details for that. Rabbi Sarah will be participating with a song. So tune into that and all sorts of things. I've had a look at the agenda. It looks like there's a lot of really interesting and wonderful things. So please partake in that if you can. It's a great event. Let's see, we have committee meetings coming up. So keep your eyes peeled on your emails for when and where your committee will be meeting. If you do not belong to a committee but would like to, let us know. There's all sorts of stuff you can do that helps. And even while we are away, there is a lot to be done and more that we can do. And your creativity and ingenuity and enthusiasm will help us do those things and deliver all sorts of great things to our congregation and our community.
And while we're away, if you have any good ideas for what we could be doing, we would love to hear those as well. We have received a federal nonprofit security grant, which is going to be great for our building. We've got lots of things going on kind of in the building while we're away. We're trying to do some upgrades that we can. So if you're interested in any of that, please contact us or contact Mike in the office at admin@sinaireno.org. And as Thanksgiving is coming up and as we are all kind of watching the news for the COVID numbers here in Washoe County, please, please, please stay safe. If possible, stay home. And if you need any sort of support, whether it be groceries, whether it be financial, anything, please, please, please reach out to us. We have resources. We just need to know that you need them, and we will be happy to hook you up with whatever it is that you need. Our community tries very, very hard to take care of one another. So please don't hesitate to reach out if you are in need of anything, even a phone call.
Even if you're making Thanksgiving dinner for the first time and something catches fire or something rises that isn't supposed to rise or doesn't rise that's supposed to rise, call us. We'll talk you through it.
Right.
It's like a crisis hotline, but for turkey.
And please, please, please have Thanksgiving just with the people in your house. We don't want to do anybody's funeral. We want to make sure that everyone is safe and healthy well into the new year. All right.
Okay,
So tonight's service, hopefully we will see many of you tomorrow morning here on Facebook Live or on YouTube. But tonight's service we will end on page 324 with Yigdal. We've been working on this for a little while, so. All right. Yigdal Elohim Chai V'yishavach Nimtza b'yeinei tel metziuto Echad ben yachid keyichudo Ne'lam v'gam ein sof le'achduto Ein lo demut haguf ve'eino guf Lo na'aroch elav kedushato Kadmon l'chod avar asher nivra Rishon ben Reshit l'Reshito Hino Adon Olam lechonotar Yorei gedulato malchuto Shefan nevuato netan Noel Anshe segulato v'tifato Lo kam b'Yisrael k'Moshe Navi umabit et emunato Torah temet natan le'amoel Al yad nevi'o neman beto Lo yachalif ha'el ve'lo yamir dato Le'olamim zulato Tzofeh v'yodea setarenu Mabit l'sof davar v'kadmato Gomer l'ish chesed k'mifalo Noten marasha ra k'rishato Yishlach l'kitz yamim pedut olam Kohai v'yishakir Yeshuato Chaye olam nata b'tochenu Baruch Hadeyan Shem Tehilato Chaye Olam Nata B'tochenu Baruch Hadeyan Shem Tehilato. And then we are going to do Kiddush. If you'd like to follow along, page 5. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho me'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu Zikaron Maaseh Bereshit Ki hu yom techila l'mikra'e kodesh Zecher l'yetziat Mitzrayim Ki banu maharta Ve'otanu kidashta Mikohanim Ve'shabbat kodshecha Be'ahava uvratzon Hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Have a wonderful Shabbat, and we hope to see you here tomorrow morning.
Shabbat Shalom.